Bright suns, and welcome to a brand new episode of The Haul. Now, this is the show where I show off some of the cool stuff that I have acquired at various locations that I've traveled to or visited normally. Today, we are going to be doing a deep dive into some of the stuff that I got on the last episode from Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. So, if you haven't checked out our first episode, you should. It's pretty awesome. I showed off a lot of the stuff that I acquired the first time I visited Galaxy's Edge. I've visited 2 times since then, and I've acquired some more stuff, most noticeably a Porg and some more Kyber Crystals. Not anything I really felt like I needed to do another episode for, but still some pretty cool stuff. Today, we are going to be doing a deep dive into the Savi's hand-built lightsabers that you can build in Galaxy's Edge. And the reason why we're doing this is I want to kind of give you an idea, first of all, how good quality these things are, and second, how different your experience with your lightsaber can be if you acquire some new Kyber Crystals. So for starters, if you have not checked out our full experience video on Savi's workshop, check it out on the Thrill Seekers channel. The video link is going to be in the description, so make sure you check that out because it's a really cool experience. Your $200 essentially gets you a cool pin. This is my power pin, basically for using a Sith lightsaber hilt. You also get a saber sheath, as they call it, which is a very fancy carrying case you can use to carry your lightsaber around with you inside Batuu. And of course, the most important thing that you get from your $200 experience, your hand-built custom lightsaber. So this is the one that I built myself. As you can see, the handle you can fully customize. You're given a basic blueprint of what kind of design you're trying to go for. So of course for this one I built a Sith-based one. It's supposed to be about power and control. And you're given a few different options. So some of the pieces are always going to be the same, but others you can kind of mix and match. So for instance, these 2 pieces, I was given I think 4 different options or 2 different ones per side. And I could kind of control what piece I wanted to go where. So I fully decided what order my pieces went in and how it was designed. So that's pretty cool. So you go through that for the experience. That's the majority of the lightsaber designing process, is you building your hilt. The very first thing you have to select, of course, is your Kyber Crystal. Now, for the lightsaber creation experience, you can only select from the pretty basic Star Wars colors. Those, of course, are blue, green, purple for Mace Windu, and red. Only 4 colors, but those are the most prevalent in the Star Wars universe. Of course, since I have a Sith-designed hilt, I picked a red Kyber Crystal. When you activate your lightsaber by pushing up on this button right here, it glows the color that you selected. Now, every time you activate, each Kyber Crystal actually creates different sound effects and different visual effects. So that is the effect that you get if you select a red Kyber Crystal. It's pretty awesome. And of course, when you deactivate, it does that. One thing that's especially cool about this hilt is, unlike a lot of other custom lightsaber kind of things, this hilt is metal. It is heavy. It's got a nice weight to it. You really do need to put both your hands on it to feel it appropriately. Also, the lightsaber blade is a nice strong plastic. So this is good quality. This is at least as good quality as kind of those upper tier replica lightsabers. But honestly, this is a little bit better, I think. And it's cool because you built it yourself. You designed this. So I think that's the coolest part of it by far. So this is the lightsaber that I designed at Savi's workshop. This is how it was when I left the shop. Pretty awesome. But did you know that you can change a couple elements on your lightsaber? Mostly what color it glows and how it activates. How? By buying Kyber Crystals. Kyber Crystals are available on their own inside the Antiquities shop. It's located near the Millennium Falcon. And they're pretty awesome. Honestly, they're worth the money. Right now, they're about $14 each at the Florida version of Galaxy's Edge. I know in Disneyland, you can only acquire them if you buy Holocron or if you buy a lightsaber. You can't buy them separately. But currently in Florida, at least for the preview, you could. Hopefully it will stay that way. So you can buy separate Kyber crystals from that shop. What the Kyber crystal does, like I mentioned before, is it changes your activation sound, it changes the color of your lightsaber blade. It gives you the opportunity to kind of change up how you want your lightsaber to look. So, one more time for posterity, here's what the red lightsaber crystal looks like when you activate it. Blade glows red. The sound effect, from what I recall, is basically the same sound effect that Darth Vader's lightsaber makes when it activates. And then when I deactivate, just like that. That's the lightsaber. I have acquired 2 different Kyber crystals. And the reason why these Kyber crystals are cool is because these are 2 Kyber crystals that have never appeared in a Star Wars film. Let that sink in for a second, because Galaxy's Edge is considered canon in the Star Wars universe. So Batuu exists in the universe of the films. So that means these Kyber crystals exist in the universe of the films. That's fascinating to me. So the 2 colors that I have acquired, now both are light side. Unfortunately, if you are a dark side purist like myself, your only options are red and black. Black is a rare drop, kind of, that you can only get if you get lucky when you're trying to get a red crystal. You open it up and you might end up getting a black crystal. It doesn't do anything different than the red crystal. The crystal itself is black, and there's a little note that says, hey, you got a black crystal. It's a rare Sith crystal. I still want to try to get one. I haven't gotten one yet. I looked, didn't see anything that looked remotely like one. But these I got because, again, these are new crystals that we've never seen before in the Star Wars universe. And I don't know how much longer I'm going to be able to buy these separately, so I figured why not. So the first one I acquired is a yellow Kyber crystal. Pretty cool. The last one I acquired most recently is the white Kyber crystal. So I bet you're wondering, okay, I spent a lot of money, I put this thing together, I selected my Kyber crystal, how do you swap it out? I mean, this thing's made of metal. It's not exactly easy. It's actually very easy to take apart your hand-built lightsaber and swap out the Kyber crystal. It takes like maybe 5 minutes. Not even that, really. So, what you're going to do is you're going to twist on these 2 pieces to unscrew them. It's kind of like a, So I unscrewed the bottom, unscrewed the top. There we go. So both pieces are unscrewed. Now you're going to take the activation module off. They're just 2 metal plates. That exposes the Kyber crystal. So as you can see, I have my red Kyber crystal there. I'm going to pull out the yellow one and show that off. Okay, so this is the yellow Kyber crystal. So to take out the Kyber crystal, all you got to do is poke it out from the bottom. Red Kyber crystal removed. Then pop your new one in. Remember, you want the narrow end facing down. There's a little dot that kind of guides you to where you need it to be. Oops, that was not what I wanted to do. And then you're going to want to push up. You know it's in properly because it should spin without moving. So like right now, I've got it spinning. It also lights up when it's in properly, so the yellow Kyber crystal is in place. Now I'm going to put these plates back on. The easy way to tell what direction is if you look right here, you've got a red dot and a blue dot. That is going to show you what position you want to put your pieces back in. So this one, it's going to be red dot right here. So I'm going to put it downward like this. It's going to snap right in. This one, I've got the blue dot, so I'm going to snap it in on the opposite end, just like that. Back in place. Now I'm going to screw everything back together and make it just like it was when I built it. All right, so now my lightsaber has changed alliances. Now it is a light side lightsaber, even though it's a Sith hilt. And when I activate it, it's a completely different color and a completely different sound. So this is the yellow lightsaber. It's got kind of a neon yellow glow. It looks really cool at night, actually. And again, what's really interesting about this one is it's not a color that you've ever seen in the films. This is exclusive to Galaxy's Edge at the moment. So I think that's awesome. And the fact that it's kind of become its own thing is really cool. So this is this lightsaber. It looks cool. It's nice. It's fancy. I love it. And then that's how it is when you deactivate. Now, in terms of activation, I believe the sound effect is basically the same as Obi-Wan's in A New Hope. Let's hear that again. That's what it sounds like to me. I might be wrong. It's been a little while since I've watched A New Hope, but I believe that's the same sound effect it makes. But pretty awesome. Different color, different sound effect. So now I'm going to do the exact same thing, but with the white Kyber Crystal, so you can hear the difference and see the difference with that one. And just like that, my lightsaber has been reassembled, and this time it has a white Kyber Crystal inside. So let's activate this and see how it looks. So as you can see, the white Kyber Crystal kind of gives it a not quite blue, but kind of a light neon purple glow. It's kind of hard to see based on the video. It looks kind of bluish. It's not as dark as the blue. It gives kind of a, as you can see, kind of a light purple twinge to it. The thing I like the most about this one is it makes a lot more sound effects. It sounds like it's entwinged with like electricity, which I think is cool. See if it does the, yeah. So this is a really cool color. It's a lot better than I thought it was going to be. When I first heard about white, I'm like, oh, white? That's just going to look like a light. It doesn't though. It's got this light purple twinge to it, and the sound effects make it really cool sounding. Even just the deactivation sound is very different from the other ones, because the other ones have the more traditional, like, zoop. This one makes a completely different sound. Let's hear that again. And then deactivate. So there you go. That is a deep dive into the Savi's hand-built lightsabers. They're pretty fantastic. The more I mess around with mine, the more I realize that it's a really cool souvenir. Yes, $200 is pricey. And I know not everybody, no matter how hardcore of a Star Wars fan you are, is going to be able to afford it. However, it's worth saving up for. If you're a big Star Wars fan, you should have one of these. It's really fun. The experience is great. You get a lot of cool stuff. This pin is exclusive. You can only get these pins if you build a lightsaber. And you can wear it on your shirt with pride that you designed one. You can carry it around. It's also just awesome to pose with your lightsaber in the middle of Batuu. It's great. So if you're a big Star Wars fan, I highly recommend getting yourself one of these lightsabers. It may be pricey. It's worth saving up for. And while you're at it, if you want to change up how your lightsaber looks and sounds, pick up a couple extra Kyber Crystals. Right now, and in the Florida version of Galaxy's Edge, they're available for about $15 each. We'll see how long that lasts, especially for the early days of the land. I would try to pick them up while you can, because who knows if they're going to stay that way. So that's going to do it for this episode of The Haul. I hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to check out plenty more episodes. We're actually going to do another deep dive where I talk about my droid building experience, as well as compare my droid I built in Galaxy's Edge to the Sphero BB-8 that I got a couple years ago. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time on The Haul. May the spires keep you.